Is that nice and square? It looks a bit
Oh, is it? Actually, I think.
tiny bit
Let's see.
wonky from here.
Yeah,
There you
it's
go.
it's
That's
good.
better.
We're good. We're good. It has been a very long journey from, what was it, like 2015, 2014 to now, like almost a decade. So how has it been, like, voicing a character for as long as you have, over as many stories as you have? Like, how is that, like?
Yeah, it's been really special. Very few actors get to play characters for as long as this. When we got cast, we didn't know that we were going to be playing the characters for this long, and we still don't know where the journey's going, as you can imagine. So it's been really special, and it's had a huge impact on my life professionally. It's probably the most influential job that I've ever had. I've done some really lovely stuff. I've been really blessed, but this
What have you done
particular
before
one-
Final Fantasy?
So lots of voiceover stuff, lots of voice work, lots of theatre, a little bit of screen work. But in terms of the impact it's had on my life, even being here and getting to do stuff, actors don't get to do this stuff very often, so we are immensely grateful. And it's had a huge impact.
Is there any projects that you're doing now in the future that fans of Alphinaud may be looking forward to in the future?
Right. Okay. So, I do have a game hopefully coming out at the end of this year. I'm not sure yet if that will be the case. But I can't say too much about that.
Of course.
But then another game that I've done is Hades 2, where I play Apollo.
Nice.
I'm not sure when that's coming out either.
Yeah, I mean, you see the trailers and everything for it, but
yeah, because the trailer's been out for a while.
Yeah. And I saw the trailer and I heard the voice. I'm like, wait. And then I looked it up. I was like, oh, it is him.
Yeah. So yeah, those two are upcoming. I hope to be able to share more about the other one in time as well.
Of course. Is this your first Otakon?
It is.
Have you heard of the convention before you came? Or?
I did, yeah, and I knew a bit about it, but to come and be here and meet everyone and be here as a guest is amazing. It's quite overwhelming.
I mean, it's been remarkable. When I first auditioned for it, I had no idea that it would keep on going for as long as it has. Yeah, because I'm not a gamer. I think a lot of people know that by now.
Yeah.
I've been very honest about that. I haven't played the game, and so it's kind of mind blowing that it has gone on for long as it has and has had the reach it's had, and that people are so passionate about it. It's been the most wonderful journey, and to be able to do that with Bethan as well is such a special thing. Yeah, I feel very fortunate to be a part of it.
Well, I didn't get a chance to ask her, but I'll ask you instead. So, like, obviously you two are not, like, related or whatever, but the fact that, like, you two basically played, like, brother and sister for, like, almost a decade or whatever, have you felt like a sibling connection with her over these years?
For sure. I mean, so even though we've been doing the game for, 8-9 years, whatever it is, we only met, it's either last year or the year before, and which was a very surreal thing. And so when we first met, it was as though we knew each other. It was very strange, and because we'd heard each other's voices for so long, there was a familiarity there, and it didn't take long at all for us to strike up the most wonderful friendship. Yeah. And because Bethan also doesn't play games, and so it's been really useful to have her. We've had each other to kind of go on this journey, which I'm absolutely loving. Yeah.
So, like, also, as you know, like, as this is going on, FanFest is also going on in Las Vegas, and you guys are, like, also doing a little panel as well as tomorrow. One of the main reasons why I wanted to, like, get you guys interviewed and whatever is because a lot of people got screwed over by FanFest, like, lack of a better term, because, a lot of people was applying lottery. Square Enix can only let so many people in.
Of course.
So it's really nice that, you guys are bringing FanFest to here where, Otakon is a lot more accessible, easy to get to. Well, not so much traveling, of course, but like easy to get to, like, geographically and everything. So what was the idea behind that? Like, did that just come spur of the moment, or was that something you were guys planning on?
So we were invited quite a while back, and it's a first for us. So we were just so thrilled to be asked, and I'm very aware that that's going on this weekend. So it's a big weekend for Final Fantasy fans, a really big weekend. But I know that the people that come to see our panel and the people that we meet one-to-one, they're going to be people that really love the game. So for us, it's just such a privilege to be here in terms of meeting people face to face, which is one of my favorite things. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to our panel. It's going to be great.
I mean, because we only found out after we agreed to come to Otakon that the FanFest was going on at the same time and on the same weekend.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's brilliant that we're able to be here for those people who couldn't make it to FanFest. Yeah. So
like, how do you feel like voicing a character as long as you have like a course, like you're not the same character as you were beginning with Heavensward and moving on to Stormbush, helping, so on and so forth. So when you're playing Alisaie in these new roles, is it like you're playing a whole new character, or you feel like you're growing with her as well?
Yeah, it's been a huge arc actually, hasn't it? And I think emotionally, I'm beginning to dig a little bit deeper with her as the recordings go on, and we don't get a lot of warning when we come in. So in terms of the script, we don't get much time with the script. So we have to be quite hot on it in terms of making quick decisions emotionally. But yeah, she's grown and I've grown with her. I'm sort of 8 years older than I was when I started. And my life has changed a lot in my personal life. So you do carry those things with you, and I often find that what's going on in your personal and professional life, you bring that into studio with you. We're human beings. So I choose to use that stuff through my work, but I'm really blessed that she's as colourful as she is. She's great. She's great fun to play.
So also in FanFest 2021, the notorious one where Soken had announced that he was in remission from cancer, and like he had done like To the Edge, like the battle against like I'm not gonna say who, but the battle. He did that while he was like in a hospital bed or whatever. So naturally, like no one had known about it until that FanFest. So I wanted to know your thoughts on that thing, since like I know like the producers and the composers and everyone knew about it on stage, but like how did you take the news and everything while that was going on, and also how did you adjust to the pandemic when everything was under lockdown?
I mean, can you explain?
Oh yeah, of course. So yeah, like what happened in FanFest 2021 was obviously like it was remote, so like they were just having it like there, but Yoshi P went out and like he was talking about the process and making the new like that part of the patch for Shadowbringers. And he was saying like, it was rough because, everyone's like locked down, everyone's like remote, whatever, offices are closed down. But during all of this, Soken had actually gotten cancer. So he was actually like in the hospital bed working or whatever. He didn't want anyone to worry because he was like, I got, priorities to do. I got a job to do. And if I tell everyone that I'm, in bed, people are going to be like worried and concerned about me. So it got really emotional on stage. Like everyone legit didn't know. The only person that knew was Yoshi P. And like, he had actually done like the song To the Edge, like where you fight against like warrior, like whatever, and like he actually had done that while he was in the bed, and then like Yoshi P had announced like he was in remission, so that's why like when he was at FanFest, having a good time with the Moogle hat and everything, that was like him literally like celebrating the fact that he had beat cancer, like he had done all that. So it was very, very intense. So like
that's incredible.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's like one of those things where like people don't know, but it's one of those things where I also know why that's the case. So I was asking like, how was it during the lockdown pandemic? Hopefully not as crazy as that, but like, how has that shaped you into bringing Alphinaud into like future like storylines or like all of Endwalker? Like, how was that like?
I mean, because the lockdown, it was difficult for everyone in so many different ways. And I mean, I've been on my own journey with Alphinaud really, and I feel like the period of the pandemic, it did make people kind of reevaluate things a lot, and that definitely happened to me. And then like some kind of things that have happened in my personal life which have been very challenging, like that has also kind of like fed into Alphinaud, and also the kind of response from fans as well, because when I went through a very difficult time last year when my brother passed away.
My condolences.
Thank you. The fans of Final Fantasy were just incredible, and they were instrumental in helping, because my brother he lived in Thailand, and the fans were instrumental in spreading the word in order to raise money to pay for his medical bills, basically. So I'm like indebted to the fans of Final Fantasy, and yeah, and I can't thank them enough for what they've done for me personally.
That's great.
I think it was a good reminder that we're all human beings, and some people get sick, you know, and jobs are jobs and they continue, but life is like this, isn't it, for all of us? And to see a man who is such a massive part of this game and is adored by so many hundreds of thousands of people, and to see what the impact it had on them, you know, that was the thing that really hit me. And the fact that he chose to share it the way he did, I thought was really special, and it was very human. The pandemic was quite something, wasn't it, for all of us? I think, to be honest, I think we're still recovering, and I think it was quite traumatic, actually, if I'm really honest. I think we very few people sailed through that unbruised, you know, and that's what I mean about carrying that stuff into studio. That kind of just being locked down in that way, I think was quite tough emotionally for a lot of people. And I choose to use that stuff in my work, you know. We went in during the pandemic to record, not a lot, just a little bit, but it was, I chose to use it as fuel, you know, emotionally, which I thought was really helpful.
And
actually.
I definitely felt that as well, like in Endwalker, like I felt like Alisaie's lines, like your delivery was way more like direct, especially in regards to like Xenos and whatever. It was way more like to the point than she's ever been. So like I feel like I definitely have felt that, you know, passion from, you know, those years, and it's just brought to light. So this also leads to like, I don't know if I have any questions, but what was your favorite iteration of Alisaie that you voiced so far? Like, what do you feel like you was the best that you have been? That was like your climax, like your peaker, like, you know, like this is like me, Alisaie. Like, what was like your defining moment as that character?
That's a great question. That's a great question. I'm not sure I know the answer.
It's like too many. Like it's like picking your favorite child. Yeah.
There's a lot, and I'm gonna try and be spoiler free. But
of course.
But they, you know, some of the stuff with Alphinaud, you know, I think towards, you know, in Endwalker, I won't say anymore. But having to dig really, really deep with that stuff, and it's such a privilege as an actor to have something that tests you. You know, when I've been in this industry, I'm very old, a long time. But it, you know, actually learning how to dig that bit deeper. And I think some of the more emotional stuff with Alphinaud in recent years, shall we say, that stuff's been mega exciting for me.
Right. Because I gave the same question to Bethan, and like she gave me like her answer and whatever. So like what was like your like pivotal point where you felt like this is like the apex?
Right. Oh gosh, that's very difficult.
She said the same thing. Like it's like picking your favorite child.
Yeah. Do you know the?
I'm familiar with it all the way up to Endwalker, so don't worry about it.
Okay, right. I think it has just got better and better as it's gone on, in my opinion. But in particular, Endwalker, I had the most brilliant experience working on that. I think the writing was just so beautiful, and and some of the kind of emotional depth of that we see with the characters in Endwalker that you haven't seen in previous expansions, I really enjoyed getting into.
So I think I have one last question because the guy just gonna be like that was the last question.
Of
So I
course.
guess like the last question I will ask is more of an in character question. So you could probably see what I'm wearing on my lanyard.
Yeah.
What do you think about this woman?
What's the correct answer to that? You tell me.
I guess you could answer as yourself and answer as Alisaie, just for fun.
No comment. No comment.
Fair enough. Okay, so to make things more lighthearted, I asked Bethan the same thing, and I'm gonna ask you the same thing, both in character and as yourself. But you said like you don't play the games, but it's okay. Like you've been Alphinaud for long enough. I'm pretty sure you can answer this. So, you probably noticed this lovely lady that's a pin on my lanyard. What are your thoughts on her?
Very, very pretty. Yeah, very cute.
It's just Yotsuyu from Stormblood. Yotsuyu.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Because like my friend made this pin for me because she knows like I'm the biggest Yotsuyu fan, so she made this pin for me custom, and I was gonna wear it like for the interviews or whatever. So I was just gonna say, how do you feel about one of the most controversial characters in Stormblood?
Hey, do you know what? This is the thing, because I don't play the
You don't
game.
play the game yet.
I don't.
It's okay.
I have no idea about like the.
It's just funny. It was just that was just perfectly. Okay, we got 2 minutes, but that was perfectly like an Alphinaud answer.
Okay, well that's good. I wasn't trying to. Oh god, maybe I'm turning into the character. We don't really, because we don't act with other actors in the booth. We only say our own lines in the booth. So I have no idea what other characters are doing.
You're fine. But that's good though, like to close this out, like that's good though. So like you were saying like you had just met Bethan like a year or two ago, and you
Yeah.
were just voicing like whatever. But it's also cool like how like you meet people, you see them and talk all the time, but then it's like, hey, I meet you in person, etc. So I think that's really cool, like what you and her are doing for people like fans of Final Fantasy. Like you guys don't play the game, but you connect with the fans, and that's good enough for everyone. And I'm pretty sure like tomorrow's panel is gonna be really good. I'm gonna be there obviously, so like it's
fantastic.
gonna it's really nice that you guys are here. And like I was also joking like how like at the end of whatever and Walker, Scion's disbanded, the twins are doing something else, the Stenian's doing something else, the twins are in Otakon, everyone is at FanFest, so literally everyone's doing their own thing. And I think it reflects to real life as well. Like it's really amazing how Walker reflects to real life, like the struggles of everyone, how they all felt through growing pains and stuff, and now again end of Walker, everyone's doing their own thing, everyone's doing their own thing now, so
Yeah.
it actually works out.